Hi, I'm Adamsdownboy and welcome to part 2 of our video guide to the reprised Destiny 2 Kingsfall raid. In this video, now that you've successfully finished the Hall of Souls encounter, my Muthaclucker clanmates Albaora, Alex, Dazzy, Electric Sheep, Tooks and Zone Runner will be taking you through the first jumping section in the raid and illustrating that even a Guardian with a dozen or more runs and a handful of flawless raid completions under their belt can still fail to stick a landing. I'll apologise for some of the fireteam voices being a little quiet throughout. This is our second video and we're still learning how to set up for these guides. It's obviously something we need to check for in future. There are 3 parts to this first jumping section. First is an area called the Crux, with a set of 4 swinging pendulums. I think they might actually be prison cells, which, as long as you're not jumping between 2 of them that are swinging away from each other, is pretty straightforward. To be safe, either jump as they swing past each other or when they're holding still at the apex of their swing. After the Crux, the longer Portico section involves travelling from one end to the other of a large open space, using Tombships as moving platforms. These follow a set path, the same as for D1 for those who remember. Once you've learned the route to take, if you've not done this before, you'll need to fight your instinct and lead the ships that you jump down to. Aim for 10 metres or so in front of them so you're jumping to where they will be rather than where they are now. The second and third ships appear sometime in advance of when you need to jump, but after that you'll need to jump to the next ship pretty much as soon as it appears. While you're on the 6th ship, a tomb ship will appear above you on a low flight path, and as it travels across you'll feel like it's going to push you off the back of the ship. If you stay on the left hand side you should be fine, but you'll need to start sprinting as soon as it passes to get to the next tomb ship in time. Alternatively, you can just jump up on top of the low flying ship and from there onto the next ship. Throughout the jumping section there's no wipe mechanic, so if you do die while jumping you'll spawn back to where you last touched the ground, before the initial tomb ship or on the platform halfway through if you've made it that far. The final part of the Portico section isn't really a jumping section as such. After traversing the large void and killing a few acolytes and knights after you land, a Guardian will need to stand on each of 2 capture plates to clear a force field. This also opens a small door to the first secret chest. Up to 4 people can then jump on a tomb ship, with the 2 Guardians remaining behind on the plates. With the force field lowered you can now ride it through to the far side. As each tomb ship completes its short journey it will despawn and a new one will appear back again where it started. However, I'm sure you'd rather get to the first secret chest of the raid by jumping to the left wall before passing through the gap. If you look to the left you'll see a narrow path on the wall that you can jump to, which leads up to a short tunnel in the wall with the chest on the other side. Alternatively, you can jump down to a horizontal tusk projecting back towards where you started from and then jump from there to the path. This can be safer if you're not as confident with your jumping. It's safer to walk rather than sprint up the path or jump out and back, as your momentum when sprinting past the ribs will push you off. There is a path underneath, so if you do fall off and can stay close to the wall you should be able to recover rather than dying and reviving. If you get confused as to where the tunnel is, keep going up the path and round the ribs. Counting from the bottom of the path, the entrance is just above your head after the 7th rib. Go through the tunnel to find the first secret chest, which drops raid mods and any gear that you've previously dropped. The 4 fireteam members can then jump down, kill a shrieker and a few more adds and stand on 2 more capture plates. These replicate the function of the first 2 plates, keeping the force field open and letting the fireteam near the exit take over from the 2 Guardians left behind so that they can make their way over. Once you're there, the fireteam can make its way through to a lift that will take everyone to the second raid encounter. You shouldn't need to change your loadout, but if you want to make a few changes to make jumping easier, then you could consider Lion Rampants for a Titan with an Arc subclass for shoulder charge and emergency panic Thunder Crash super, Heat Rises and Icarus Dash equipped as a solar warlock, and Stompies for a hunter. A sword can put you into a third-person perspective to improve your locational awareness and is useful for changing direction quickly or getting additional momentum at the end of a jump if you need it, or to quickly recover from a misjump. If you've got a sword with the Eager Edge trait, you can try and make it to the halfway point with a single jump. It is possible if you know what you're doing. If you do struggle, then it's always a good idea to save a loadout of 100 mobility armour for use at times like this, or you can equip a lightweight weapon. You'll only be facing a few acolytes, knights and a shrieker in this section of the raid. Unless you're facing them on your own, you should roll over them with a loadout you had equipped from the Hall of Souls. We'll now run the video of the first jumping section of the raid from the perspective of the fire team. As with any jumping section, the only way to learn is to do, but hopefully this will help you understand the route you need to take. I'm not going to show the crux section as that's pretty straightforward, but I will point out that the cables the pendulums hang from are solid objects, so just try to avoid bouncing off them. We'll start in the more substantial Portico section, and I'm going to focus initially on Sheep's Run, as he's one of 2 fire team members that ride the Tombships across the space without reviving and without pausing for fallen comrades. I'll revert to the full 6 Guardian view when he and Dazzy reach the far side. Initially, the fire team kills a small crowd of hive ads in a docking area by a waiting Tombship. You don't need to kill them all, but if someone does fall, it's easier if they don't spawn back into a hostile crowd. Don't worry if you miss the first Tombship, it will respawn shortly after it despawns out in the void in front of you.
So, second symbol is at the end of this.
I tried to get a nice group shot of all of you guys jumping.
Nice.
This is the last time I do that.
It's probably the only time we're ever going to try and jump this in sync.
Alba overshoots the 3rd Tombship and is respawned back to the start.
Why am I going so
Oh, okay. Adams is going to be most displeased.
If I'm honest, after providing notes for everyone to keep together for the jumping sections, I'm mostly surprised everyone didn't just mass suicide off the first Tombship. But anyway, at the halfway point there's a platform. If you do fall, remember that you'll respawn where you last touched the ground, so jump up here and you'll only have to complete the last half of the jumping section rather than restarting from the beginning if you fall off after this point.
Oh well. Should have hired somebody there.
I'll wait for you here.
This is unpaid voluntary work.
Community service.
Just to say how pleased I am that my raid is currently Alba's chosen charity project.
I mean, a normal world, I'll probably die another 10 times.
Come on, I'm on the hunt.
It's easy then.
Easiest on the hunter. No excuse. Max,
I don't know.
Max that
Me,
mobility.
me and finding out, you know how it goes.
On the 6th ship, with the low-flying Tombship approaching, you can safely stay on the left-hand side. Crouching isn't essential here, but I'll admit that I usually do.
Am I doing like no hand anymore?
Thank you.
Tukes misses the jump while titanicking at the front of the ship, perhaps distracted at the thought of being painted like one of Jack's French girls. No doubt he carries that thought with him as he respawns back at the halfway platform.
Oh, Tukes. Did you emote too much and you're gonna die now?
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Oops.
True professionals.
Yeah. too busy pretending to do the Titanic.
And you ended up doing the Titanic.
Dazzy and Sheep clear the ads at the far end of the Portico jumping puzzle. Alba, Alex and Zone catch up, and Alex stands on the left capture plate while Sheep stands on the right.
So we stay behind to open the gates, or do you have a symbol to show, Dazzy?
I have a symbol to show and just get. I have to get this symbol.
Thanks, Raken.
After he catches up, Tooks joins Alba, Dazzy and Zone on the waiting Tombship, and they all make their way to the path on the left leading up to the secret chest.
Are we going to be able to all fit on there with your massive shiny shoulder pads then?
All the better to see
Show
me.
knows the way.
Oh, just going to go out. Oh, dead.
Dazzy demonstrates that your momentum from sprinting past the ribs will push you off the path, and also that it's fairly easy to recover to the path below if you stick close to the wall. If you lose count of the number of ribs, watch for one with a big chest-high thorn sticking out. At that point, the entrance will be above your head after the next rib. You can see their progress through Sheep's sniper sight.
Oh, hunter. I can save it.
It's a
Nice.
slow warlock. There you go. That's fine. Just fall off and you can't do anything about it. Thank you.
I can see your names, but your models have disappeared.
No, we're not,
Say I'm skinny.
we're not there just yet.
After opening the secret chest, Alba, Alex, Tooks and Zone jump down to kill the ads and the Shrieker, and Alba and Tooks stand on the capture plates for Alex and Sheep to make their way to them.
Number 2.
I'm assuming we can move.
Yeah.
Yep.
I always struggle with this jump.
Let's see. First time doing this on the hunter, so yeah.
You're gonna do great, I believe in you.
Thank you. Okay. Easy.
So I find it easier if I jump on the side instead of trying to hug the wall.
Yeah, if you jump, you don't get pushed off as much.
After Alex and Sheep get to the exit, the fire team makes its way to the lift for the next encounter. That's the end of our guide to the first jumping section in the Kingsfall raid. On behalf of the Cluckers, thank you for watching, we hope that's helped you, and may all your drops be God rolls.